Hey guys, so the microphone on this computer is really bad. I have to keep redoing all my videos over and over again because the microphone keeps screwing me up. But okay, so just to redo this video, in the previous video that I didn't upload because the sound was so bad, I was talking about Maslow's framework. If you don't know who Maslow was, he was a humanist and he proposed the idea of self-actualization or being the best that you can be. He proposed the pyramid or the hierarchy of needs, which is a list of requirements that a person must fulfill in order to be totally happy with themselves. It starts with physiological at the bottom, which is food. Everyone needs food in order to be happy, of course. And then it moves up, supposedly going from the most important, which is the physiological, to the least important, before reaching the top of the pyramid, which is self-actualization, or being the best that you can be. He's one of the two really famous humanists. The other guy is Carl Rogers, who proposed the idea of unconditional positive regard, or if you're punishing someone, you punish them for their actions, but not for the person. Unconditional positive regard for a person. So Maslow also proposed the framework, or his Maslow's framework, which starts with four parts: unconditional incompetence, or conscious incompetence, conscious competence, and or unconscious competence. It's just like they use the same few words over and over again with flipped up meanings. It's pretty confusing to say, and it's a tongue twister. Try saying it. So I use this framework to also explain how people are attached to beliefs and how people are pretty much raised up to have certain beliefs. So essentially, this is explaining how faith works. So originally, this Maslow's framework is used or by him to explain how a person communicates or how skilled a person in communicating. It goes from unconscious incompetence in social communication to unconscious competence in social communication. So I'll explain each four of these steps. Unconscious incompetence means a person doesn't know that he or she sucks at communicating. Conscious incompetence knows that he or she sucks at communicating and wants to improve it. Conscious competence means a person has learned the skills to communicate better and hasn't totally gotten used to it yet. And when a person practices some more, he or she becomes consciously competent. Or even when he or she isn't focusing on the skills, he or she, I should just say they, are still good at communicating. This also applies, in my opinion, to religious views, political views, views in sports, supporting sports teams, supporting different parties in politics, and anything that really depends on faith or emotion-based attachments. So I was thinking about this in the bathroom after going to the swimming pool, and I just thought, hey, this fits perfectly. Much better explanation to at least in my opinion. So what happens is, let's start off with religion. So a person who was raised early in their religion starts off as, well, skips the two parts, skips unconscious incompetence and conscious incompetence within the two steps because they are too young to question their religion. So they automatically become consciously competent in that they recognize that they know something is true. So if their parents tell them that God must exist, then they are consciously competent that a God must exist because, well, they believe what their parents say, so they trust what their parents say. And after a while of being raised up in such a belief, they become consciously or unconsciously competent that a God exists. In that even when they're not focusing on the idea of God, they still have the sort of belief or they have the feeling that a God exists, and that's what faith usually is. It's based on the feeling. This applies to, of course, not. Wait, I just talked about religion. I talked about politics now. So a person is raised up in a political field, or if they're not raised up in it from a young age, then they probably condition themselves by focusing on a few of their characteristics. They keep telling themselves over and over again that such a field or such a party is good versus such a party is not good, and after a while they become unconsciously competent, or even when they're not thinking about their attributes, they automatically have a feeling that one is better than the other. Of course, this applies to sports and anything else, like I said, that's emotion. So Maslow's framework explains the basis of faith, I think, and Now, to go backwards from it is to reverse an emotional attachment. A person goes from conscious incompetence or conscious competence back down to consciously competence, knowing that their belief is true. And then they reverse it by even further by going from consciously competent to consciously incompetent. They know that their beliefs are flawed, or that perhaps their beliefs are merely opinion, not the fact of the universe. If I'm talking about religion, then this is the process of which a person communicate or converts from one religion to another. A person recognizes that their religion possibly isn't true and converts back down to conscious incompetence. Now, after a while of looking at why their religion isn't true and substituting it for a different reason, then they become unconsciously competent. Now, of course, that doesn't necessarily mean a person is converting from one religion to another. It could be from converting religion to non-religion. That would be, I guess, an atheist. Converting from recognizing why a certain religion, like let's say Christianity, for me, was untrue, then you convert that to atheism. Or perhaps, if you're not me, then you're converting to maybe Islam or paganism or any of the other religions. So for me, at least, it was based. I think the sort of belief that I've been converted to is has more likelihood of being true because it's based on evidence, testable evidence, or if not totally everything, then at least the lack of evidence of any other sort of God. So, and of course that converts to other religions too, and faith. So I've covered, let's see, education, that's sports attachments, governments, political attachments, and religious attachments. So this is explaining those sort of attachments with Maslow's framework, and I'll upload a picture. So while you're watching this video, you can follow it around. Right. So I have a phone call right now. So see ya.